History on conflict over same-sex marriage and homosexuality has been around for a long time, but the legalization is rather young. As of June 26, 2015, 22 countries total have legalized same-sex marriage. With the turn of the new century, people all over the world would become more and more accepting of homosexuality. On April 1st, 2001, the Netherlands became the first country in the world to fully legalize gay marriage, followed by Belgium and Canada. In the year 2004, while most of the country banned same-sex marriage, Massachusetts was the first state in the USA to legalize gay marriage. 11 years later, in the summer of 2015, in the Supreme Court's Obergefell v. HUGGINS, same-sex marriage was finally legalized in all 50 states. There are, unfortunately, many people and organizations in the world that will do anything possible to hinder LGBT progress, such as Kim Davis, a Kentucky clerk that denied a same-sex couple their right to marry. In a CSPAN clip, Kim was questioned by several people about why she denied gays' rights to marry, and she replied that it's God's higher authority.
Under whose authority are you not issuing licenses?
In the June 22nd Supreme Court case, Justice Kennedy made this quote, "No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family." Now then, let's see the reactions of different people in the United States.
This morning, the Supreme Court recognized that the Constitution guarantees marriage equality. In doing so, they've reaffirmed that all Americans are entitled to the equal protection of the law, that all people should be treated equally, regardless of who they are or who they love.
Oh, happy day, huh? Equal justice under the law. Those are the words inscribed at the wall of the Supreme Court, which, by the way, I can see from my office. This is the value and the ideal upheld by the Supreme Court today.
This is a great day for America. 10 years ago today, the United States Supreme Court in Lawrence against Texas took the first important step to guaranteeing that all Americans, regardless of sexual orientation, were equal citizens under the law. Today, the United States Supreme Court, in two important decisions, brings us that much closer to true equality. In the decision striking as unconstitutional the so-called DOMA, or defensive marriage case, the United States Supreme Court held that there was no purpose for depriving gay and lesbian couples of the right to marry the person they loved. There was no legitimate justification for that.
Today is a great day for American children and families. Sandy and I want to say how happy we are, not only to be able to return to California and finally get married, but to be able to say to the children in California, no matter where you live, no matter who your parents are, no matter what family you're in, you are equal, you are as good as your friends' parents and as your friends.
As you've already heard, the court has struck down the Defense of Marriage Act as unconstitutional and has found no standing on the part of the advocates of Proposition 8 in California. I'll be addressing both of those outcomes on behalf of the Evangelical Church Alliance, churches like ours, as well as traditional Christians who advocate for marriage as between a man and a woman. No matter how any of us feel about the outcomes in these cases, one thing is true. The Supreme Court has no authority when it comes to the nature of marriage. That authority belongs to the Creator, whom our founders declared is the source of all our rights.
While I have been quiet for the last 5 years for this proposition to take its course in our legal system, I'm here today on behalf of the 7 million voters in the state of California to express our disappointment. We believe that every vote should count. Thank you.
The thing that many people must remember is that people have their own right to opinions, as long as they don't enforce it upon other people.
Well, a lot of people in Fort Wayne are calling this day historic. And News Channel 15's Alyssa Iverson met with one couple today who thought this day would just simply never come.
Now, Monica and Harriet got married a year ago yesterday and say today's decision was really just the perfect anniversary gift.
It's very, very good for America. It's very good for Indiana. It's very good for us.
And when we heard the announcement, it was just tears.
On November 22nd, I had a great honor to interview these two wonderful ladies on their opinions on same-sex marriage and homosexual discrimination.
Status, because bigger than marriage is anti-discrimination. So we saw this as one step toward it, but it's not the end.
I would say, and I don't know if you're going question by question, but not direct discrimination, because it's easy to discriminate quietly against those who don't have power. And those could be minorities, those could be individuals who are very old. You know, there's a lot of ways to discriminate without saying, I don't like you and I'm not going to do this because you are of this status. So some of the discrimination that we may have experienced, I don't think was ever directed, personally, but I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure within my family of origin, there are individuals who do not approve of me being a lesbian, and it's not like, we used to say it was a choice. I do believe that we are born that way, and, my sister was born heterosexual, and I was born homosexual, and same parents. So it's not, because our parents raised us differently. So, yeah, I think that kind of discrimination I have experienced.
Hopefully, someday soon, homosexuality and same-sex marriage will be accepted and legalized across the world, and we can all coexist with one another.